on, you little lad. Let's go. Come on.
Bye-bye, Linus. We got to do our show.
Come on.
I love you, buddy.
Bye.
Why don't you just rip that down quick?
Oh, let's go read that book. Should we bring it upstairs? Come on.
He's like, oh.
Good job. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
All right, motherfuckers, now that my kid's gone.
5.
Welcome to Comic Book Look, everyone. It's your weekly comic book show, kind of, sort of, but absolutely, as of late. John, Skylar, Tom, and Ken are all in the cut thick stacks around St. Patty's Day. We're like a field of green glory on your screen.
Represent the homeland.
Oh, so how's everybody doing?
Oh man, festive is how we're doing. As good as possible. St. Patty's Day once again. I know that when our St. Patty's show comes, you know, we're always gonna have a good time. Boozing hard, and so we got a very nice wide array of booze here for us, and we're gonna still try to talk about comics the best that we can.
Yes.
On this booze-filled adventure, and because we've covered Banshee 1,000 times, and because we've talked about every other Irish thing, and you know, Locus Mortis, who's sending us awesome things from Ireland, we still represent you, but still we got to move on. We've talked about it all.
Yeah.
So tonight, in this booze-filled night, we're talking about booze, my friends.
Yes.
And booze in comics. And characters who booze, do we like it? Are we for it? Are we against it? Because, as responsible people, we really should take it easy on the booze.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say I think it's already clear whether we're for or against booze. If you watch any episode ever except for one where John and Tom were both drinking water, I was still locking down the booze strain on the backside of the camera. So, this has always been powered by alcohol.
Yeah, it has.
We get a lot of episodes to the gallon, actually. We're pretty efficient.
Yeah, we are. And I would say half of the fun of actually just doing this is getting together and hanging out. And so, am I going to hang out and not just have a few burrs with my boys? Nope. So...
No, you save that for a night when you're not going to go anywhere.
Exactly.
Home with the wife and kids?
Yeah,
we might have 10 beers then.
Or maybe that's the night to have
or
it.
maybe that's the only way you can get through it.
But yeah, so boys, when booze and comics come together, what's your guys' snap reactions? What are you thinking about?
Stark,
Stark. Yeah.
It reflects real life. I mean, that's the way things are in the real world. So, you have to portray that realism to some degree in comics.
And I think because maybe some indie comics had done it, but for mainstream comics, Stark was the first the guy to have alcohol problems in comic books. Yeah. And that's why, we had that, what was it, something of the bottle or whatever, the dark side of the bottle, I can't remember what it's called. And there was like that whole long thing, and that was like in the early 80s, I think, maybe possibly late 70s. So, I mean, Stark's been boozing forever. He's still having booze problems in these Marvel movies. I mean, he's just a bold booze hound. Yeah. And I think what it comes to show is that if you're gonna be the most powerful, richest man in the world, you gotta booze. You gotta booze. I mean, I'm for it.
Pressure, yeah.
What's the point of being rich and powerful?
2 thumbs up.
Yeah. Well, it kind of, to detract a little bit, it kind of definitely shows the humanity of even these seemingly infallible characters.
Yeah.
Where, there's obviously the weakness. It's not just a kryptonite or some silly made-up material.
It's a real weakness.
It's a real-life weakness that people will actually struggle with.
Yep. I mean, Heineken. It's like the kryptonite of the beer world.
Yeah, shout out to Heineken. So, I don't know. I really felt like, our single that we put out last year or 2 years ago really captured what we're talking about, technology and booze. It's like we're rolling out like Tony Stark.
Exactly. I mean,
we embody
that
these.
God had sent down from above to grace the lips of John On Demand.
I don't know. I just, I'd like to propose a toast to how awesome we are, because a lot of shows just don't do it like
when
this,
someone's toasting me,
I mean,
I've never left out.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, if anyone's gonna tell me how awesome I am, like, I'll drink to that.
So, but yeah, well.
But yeah, we definitely, there's the old tie to technology and booze, and that is also how we like to roll. We love technology, we love booze, we love comics, and Tony Stark is a comic book character.
Exactly.
But there's definitely other ones. I was saying before, when you're trying to brainstorm different things, there's this awesome fucking story about Captain America and Wolverine, and they are just trying to get drunk, and that is like the purpose of the story. And the thing is, like, the super soldier in him and the healing factor, they just like cannot get too drunk, so they just booze, and it was a great story. It's like one you really want to share with like your 8-year-old or like 9-year-old nephew, at night, or whatever. When you guys are sharing a beer.
Yeah.
When you're putting
I totally want to read that though. Seriously, I would drink with Steve Rogers. I would, my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Steve Rogers. I don't know if I would. He's kind of like a cop. He's like this super cop, so be like.
You wouldn't have a drink with that.
I don't know. I mean, I'd try to maybe bust out some weed, and then he'd be like, "Whoa!" I mean, St. Patty's Day, green, right? And he'd be like, "Hey, let's call. Are you working for Hydra?"
He'd probably be trying to have political arguments with you all the time.
I'd go to the
gun
commie,
rights,
and I'd try to talk him into it, and he'd tell me it's not all about money, whatever.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, what are some other boosters?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit back. If you watched the episode last week, or whenever it was,
It's up.
I brought up what's in
As
the
of
queue
yesterday.
for
It wasn't up to me, guys.
And I finally actually went through and watched the superheroes, which I was skeptical it might have been the same one, and they changed the title or something.
The PBS special?
No, it wasn't the PBS special. It was
the one on Netflix,
independent. And yeah, it's up on Netflix right now, just called Superheroes, and it's another real-life superhero tale.
Oh, okay.
And I had reviewed another one beforehand that was, like, it kind of went a little more serious. It's like, look, these people, they go out and hand out, like, care packages to homeless people, and they, like, help someone find their kid back. There's just all these kind of silly things.
So I think those people.
Well, so I went and watched this one, and it was definitely kind of the opposite side of just like showing how silly a lot of these people are.
Oh, nice.
It touched on one of the same groups, that's kind of doing some good things. But there was one guy that, in the middle of his patrol, he stops off at his car to drink a 24-ounce can of Busch Light. And
that is
multiple
awesome.
times you see him, he's talking about how he can't get too drunk, and he's got this weapon he's made. It's basically just a big can made out of steel that he has a little grip inside, and he's punching his fridge with it, knocking beer cans off the top.
And he thinks he's a
superhero.
superhero.
He literally says into the camera, "Oh yes, I have superpowers."
Wow.
So that's one of those. This is a little more on the awkward,
or like terrible
failure side of life, kind of like a hoarder's type situation.
Poor
so
somebody needs to put him down. I hate to say it.
Where's the supervillain in that town?
Yeah, they ain't doing their work. The supervillain in that town, booze.
Busch Light Man.
Oh yeah, man. How about anybody else? I think Howard the Duck drank.
Oh yeah.
He'd have like martinis and shit sometimes.
Yeah. He was a drinker. So was Constantine.
Oh yeah, Constantine's definitely a drinker. Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Howard the Duck. Let's talk about that weird live action movie that happened.
The one back in the 80s?
Yeah, I mean, I watched it.
That movie.
I watched it because I felt like I had to watch it. At one point when we started doing this, I was like, I have to see every single comic book movie that has ever been made. And I had to watch Howard the Duck, and I'd never seen it before. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's so bad, it goes back to the start. It's good.
Marvel's first forte into live action movies.
Yeah, what was it, 84 or 85? No, because The Punisher, I think, was 88 with Dolph
Oh yeah,
Lundgren.
it was early 80s. Leah Thompson.
I only ever watched that movie because it was one of the movies that, for some reason, was taped off of TV on a VHS.
Nice.
Which, I think I might have talked about this on the last one, but I have a Code Monkeys CD, you know?
Yeah.
And that I burned from my computer, and it's like a little taste. And I just want to go back and get some of those VHSs to get like that slice of life. You don't even have to watch the movie that's happening,
God,
but to go back and watch all the commercials. It's kind of like you flipping through old comics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so awesome. I know, because there is this. We have at my parents' house Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and 3 on VHS that I had put on myself.
That you dubbed off
Yep.
TV. Nice.
And I had done the editing myself to try to get the commercials out.
Oh.
So I get through the thing, I do a pretty good job. Sometimes I can miss them completely. I get the full thing. But at the very beginning, there was this buffer, and Pizza Hut was sponsoring the showership, the movie. It was like an ABC movie night, sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Which makes sense. Turtles.
And then they had this baseball scene where this kid can't hit, and it's this really tear jerker, and it's all about Pizza Hut at the end.
Yeah,
and I was watching it, and I ended up rewinding and watching that part 4 times. Then I was like, I'm not even watching Turtles, dude. That made my night. I am satisfied.
Yeah.
This is the greatest thing I'd ever seen.
Pizza
Because
Hut cinema.
oh my god, it was the cheesiest thing ever. Straight from 1993, and they're one kid on the team who's just always left behind, but when the team all gets to the place, he's pulling his pizza just like every guy else. Loved it.
Did you know win or lose, you still get pizza?
Yeah, who cares about baseball,
kids?
kids?
Joke, I think.
This is 1993 too, so it's eat up pizza, you'll have mac and cheese for breakfast. So
yeah, so since we're on commercials and it's a booze episode, favorite booze commercial, Ken, starting with you, go.
Of all time, I like the old classic Spuds McKenzie's from the 80s and 90s.
Spud McKenzie, I don't even know that
Spud
one.
McKenzie, he was the dog. He was the party dog for, I don't even remember, Coors Lighter, Coors or something.
Coors or Budweiser.
And it was funny because he'd be
one of the big ones.
sitting there poolside with all these hot models around, oh, Spuds! I'm like, bitch, that's a dog.
But yeah, that's really demented in a lot of ways.
They had a dog as their
right up China's alley.
Dog.
It was their spokesperson, their spokesmammal.
That's awesome. I don't remember that. I'll have to look those up.
How do you think John, what's his name, got to go?
Yeah, exactly.
She was wasted. All right, Tom, what's your favorite booze commercial?
Definitely the old Lando Calrissian Colt 45 commercials.
Okay.
I mean, he wasn't playing Lando Calrissian, but that's what I'm thinking.
Lando.
When I see Billy D. Williams in a commercial and he's old Colt 45, I'm thinking only Cloud City and Lando, and that is definitely the coolest commercial I have ever seen.
Yeah, mine is it's actually an Australian one that I saw over the internet on just a compilation of good commercials, and people come running, and it's like a marching band style thing, where the people make the shape of a person's head and torso, and they're running, sprinting, maintaining this formation towards another group of people who are in the formation of a beer, like a glass of beer,
dude, and
and it runs out, and the hand reaches out, and so people spread out, and to grab the glass, and then it pours all the beer out of the glass. It looks super cool. It'd probably be pretty easy to find on the internet, but it was so entertaining.
I don't know. I have to respect the classics and go with the world's most interesting man.
Yeah, I mean, he is. Those are just absolutely hilarious.
And
So
that ties back
Yeah,
into
exactly.
that does tie back into the nerd world. I don't know if you've seen the meme that floated around Facebook. He was actually on Star Trek, the original series.
No way.
Just one episode. He was a background. Guess what character he played? A red shirt. But he didn't die.
Exactly.
So there's this whole meme on the internet. He's like,
that is
I don't always play a red shirt, but when I do,
I live. That is sick.
It's true.
Nice.
That is fucking so dope, man. Oh, the other good ones. Have you guys seen the ones that Will Ferrell has done for only Norwegian TV, advertising for Old Milwaukee Light, which they don't sell in Norway, and it is unbelievable. He's I think he's in Iowa City or Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and he's on a river, and he just pops out of the river with a old Milwaukee light and cracks it open, and he's like, sometimes when I'm just sitting by the bay in the cold river, the only thing that can satisfy my taste is an old Milwaukee light.
Oh,
And they don't even sell Old Mill in
No,
Norway, where the
and
the
he
only place
funded
in
this whole
commercial
thing
air.
as just one massive joke.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
And
That's
Old
great.
Milwaukee got behind it because it ended up having millions of hits
Yeah,
on
it's
YouTube.
yeah, exactly. It's gonna get out there anyway.
And so there's a bunch that he's just sitting on a broken branch over this river in Iowa, just holding Miller. It's so fucking funny, man. All right, well, let's talk about some comics, though, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Actually, do we have any more Booze comics? Because we should bring up some more. We only
Sure,
talked
there's
about
gotta
Howard the
be
Duck
some.
Yeah.
and
Well,
Tony Stark.
What other? There's also got to be some comic characters out there who maybe do things worse than Booze. Is there any?
Oh, sure, fucking dumb Red Arrow's just shooting heroin all the time.
Yeah.
He loses his arm like a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Let's think. Some more boozers. I mean, I feel like Batman, even though he doesn't booze, he's got to have a nice scotch every once in a while because he's so fucking rich.
Champagne.
Right.
Champagne, exactly.
Mimosas.
Deadpool gets down once in a while.
Does he?
You
Yeah,
can tell all the
I'm sure. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
He's just
sure
usually
it's
eating burritos.
Yeah.
Give
Jimmy
him a bite.
Churches or whatever. But yeah, what's another booze hound? I mean, there's plenty of indie comics have tons of drinking, and because they're and a lot of everyday stories that are just involved drinking, but nothing where there's just superheroes that are just always wasted. Which I think that you're really missing out there, aren't you?
Yeah,
Just-
you could have just comical errors.
Yeah, just
constantly
Judy's
from
just
an actual
constantly
very adept
fucking-
hero.
yeah,
that's
just
wasted all
Their
the
power.
time.
The more they drink, the more powerful they get.
What
Yeah,
was
almost like
the,
Inspector Gadget style, where he never is really trying to do it, but somebody else
Right.
figures it out, and he always
Just
he saves the
accidentally
day.
saves the day.
Mr. Magoo kind of
Yeah,
shit.
what was the movie with? No, I can't think of his name. Will Smith.
Oh yeah,
There's
Hancock.
Yeah.
Hancock. He was always wasted.
Yeah, that
And
was cool.
That's the kind of thing I would like to kind of see him do.
I liked Hancock until then, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Let's do another little quiz. Who would be the best superhero to be if your goal was just to be drunk all the time or the biggest alcoholic possible?
Well, then, I mean, if you're thinking goal as in to stay out of jail or to get drunkest, or what's your
That's
goal?
Who's the best one
no,
to party
your
with?
goal
What's
is
awesome
to
party?
just
You're just a
wanna
good
be an
drinker.
alcoholic.
Well,
What
I mean,
superhero would you be?
okay, so I gotta think. If I want to be an alcoholic, I still want to live long, and I want to still be
Prosper? Oh.
function. I still want to be functioning. So I would definitely be somebody who's can just drink booze all the time, like Wolverine. I'd be Wolverine.
Yeah, I was gonna go a similar direction and probably say Deadpool, just because of
exactly.
the healing factor, basically. There's
Yeah, I mean,
no liver damage
you just
ever. You
non-stop
always.
Flash burns it off so quickly.
Oh,
He doesn't
that's
actually
right.
really get drunk, so that kind of defeats the purpose.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They cover that in the show?
In the TV show, they do. I don't know if they
Nice.
talk about that.
I haven't heard that in the comic yet.
Oh.
I don't know if you put your mouth at the bottom of a spigot at a distillery. Get
No, they at one point in the show, I think they gave him something that was 400 times more proof alcohol than, and he's like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's gone." So he felt it for 2 seconds.
God, poor guy. It's rough.
That would suck. That would be one drawback of having superpowers and not being able
Well,
to.
at least you'd save your money at the bar. I'm not worth it.
no.
Okay, here's a moral question for you guys. I think I would probably be a bad person if I suddenly got superpowers. I honestly think I would not use them for the right things.
It'd be like Vandal Savage, just drinking all the time, living 2,000 years.
I would be such a
Playing
bad
with history.
hero. I would be a villain. I pretty much am sure I would be like, okay, how
So
can I
you
use
just be
this?
yourself.
Yeah, how can I use this power to my advantage?
How about you,
Yeah.
John?
I don't know. Now that you bring up the Flash, I could go for the Reverse Flash if they made the yellow outfit my size.
They do. They do. Actually,
Granted,
put it
I
on,
would-
it slims you right up.
Right, exactly.
Well, if you were the Flash, you just could burn so many calories right away, right?
You've seen Big Hero 6, right?
Yeah.
I need one of those suits. Me and the kids just watched Big Hero 6.
Yeah, we just thought we
Great movie, man. I thought it
It
was
was fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I've
it's not
never
groundbreaking,
even heard
but it's
of
a great movie.
Big Hero 1 through 5, so I don't.
Dude.
Oh, you
They
haven't seen
cranked
one?
them out
Dude.
that fast.
2 and 3, best.
Yeah.
1, okay. 5, lagged hella. So that's why I was really surprised for this movie.
Okay.
But, the thing is, Statham is in 2 and 3, and that's why I like it, Jason Statham. It's an animated movie, but he plays himself non-animated. It's awesome.
Is that the one where he has a car and he has to get it somewhere really fast?
Yeah, and then he actually does a barrel roll with his car, and there's a bomb at the bottom, but there's a crane, so he actually unhooks the bomb from the crane that's hanging down. It's awesome.
I think I've seen that one.
Anyway, we're talking about Big Hero 6, okay? This isn't in 2003. And because that's when Big Hero 1 came out. But yeah, dude, I thought it was
an actual thing that they're just like, oh, it's a Big Hero 6 because that was his name. There really were 1 through 5.
I just got this guy with that joke, played it so hard we got him. Oh, yeah! Yeah!
See, so what you're saying is I was right.
Wasn't it called Big Hero 6 because wasn't there 6 of them? Is that what it worked out to
It's
be?
a team of 6.
It's a team of
It's a Marvel
6.
comic book.
Yeah, you got the comic though, right?
Yeah. Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Did you like it?
It's cool. It's just a different, it's a team out in Japan. And
Is it connected continuity?
oh yeah, they reference when Sunspot was staying with Alpha Flight Department H and all that. It references that. I'm like, boom, got it, know it. So it was
Nice.
cool for me.
Fuck yeah.
But I was kind of bummed that the movie wasn't in continuity.
No,
because
not
when they
at
first
all.
announced just that, hey, we're doing a movie, I was like, what? And then it was like, oh, it's an animated kid movie. But it ended up not. It was great.
I thought it was fine.
Even
It
when
was a
they
sad
first
ending.
announced it, they said they were going to have it in B continuity and B canon, and then they came out a few weeks later and said, "Okay, yeah, no, we're not."
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's the first one Disney. It's the first time Disney's stepping into the bank that they own now.
Yeah.
That's obscure, and they're saying, "Hey, we'll just take this name. We already own it, and there's already a base for it, and then we'll just rewrite it all of ourselves with all in-house people." And you know what? It was fine though. I thought it was
fun.
My kids loved it. They were all so sad at the end, and it was perfect. I mean, I want them to have those heartaches.
Yeah, it's like,
Cupping
it's
them
like Lion King when we were
What?
kids.
Oh, totally.
If you
That's
didn't
what I'm
die when
saying.
Mufasa died,
Okay.
if you didn't cry when Mufasa died, you're not a human.
Exactly, dude. If you're like going for Scar, that's like fucking serial killer status.
How fucked up are
Of
their
course,
parents, though?
John went for Scar, and the goddamn hyenas, the most annoying fuckers ever.
I didn't think Scar was the good guy in that series because how bad were his parents fucked up? You name your first child Mufasa, which literally means king, and your second kid Scar.
Hey, it had to be a nickname because when he got the scar, he became Scar.
What
I mean,
was
it's
his
probably
name before that?
It's probably Mustafa.
Trash dump. He was the second child in a royal family. They don't mean anything.
I was thinking like Thor Rossa.
How do you
or something
translate
exciting.
elephant graveyard?
What is going on?
So I picked up some new comics. We're going number ones here, guys. They're not like us. I actually haven't read this yet. I'm sorry, guys, but the reason I had to, Eric Stevenson, my favorite, the guy runs all of Image Comics, still having his time to put out comics, so I'm gonna buy them. And because I'm a little bit behind, I know this came out a few weeks ago, but I cannot wait to see this, man. It's definitely going to be a good one. And so even though I haven't read it, I'm still going to fucking definitely recommend it. So I just want to talk about it quick before I moved on to the ones I had read. So this is going to be my new favorite comic. I can already tell. I mean, maybe not as good as Walking Dead or Saga, but this is up there with like Lazarus status in a whole different way. This is over the top, psychedelic, weird motorcycle story about apes that are people. I mean,
Planet of the Apes.
yeah, kind of Planet of the Apes, except they have. So, and it's really, really 70s, like, exploitation-ish.
Yeah,
So this is
sexy.
this is the back, and it's just, and this is the one that has the dick. And so this is,
okay.
Please tell us it's human dick, not monkey dick.
so it is monkey dick. Oh, I opened it up to the perfect thing right here. So
yeah,
we'll
because
get
that one is suspiciously creased.
Oh,
Oops.
oops.
It's like
Hey, at least it wasn't stuck together. That would have been worse.
That's the second copy.
That's a good joke, Ken. All right. So they're like all these 70s hippie biker dudes, but in this one there's this monkey and he's behind a tree and fat biker, and he starts to get his dick sucked, and then some people roll up and he says, "Oh fuck, we got company," and the bitch has to put her head back and there's all sorts of slobber. You don't know if he's shooting a load or not, if he has, but her nipples are like 3 inches long. His dick's real hard. It's a big old monkey dick, and so I mean,
What is going on?
I just loved it, and
Big old monkey dick.
that just throws it together. There's another cool splash page in here I wanted to show. This one, this is kind of just like opens up the whole thing. It's almost like the title screen of a show. But this is all about this biker gang, and they have rivals, and it's all done in such a cool way and so fun that I just absolutely loved it. It's called The Humans. There's actually a 1 through 3. I just haven't read the other ones yet. So pick up all of them that are out. I will be continuing to read this until it's over. But I just hopefully a lot of people get it because it's fucking awesome.
What is going on?
And you guys know I like original comics and I love motorcycles and I love that kind of thing. So it's just like it's like Sons of Anarchy meets Planet of the Apes meets, Easy Rider. So I don't know. It's really fucking good.
I'll have to just bring them over next time. But I have a series called Ape City that's based off of Planet of the Apes.
Nice.
But it's more along the lines of humans and apes living together. And there's actually an ape motorcycle gang in that one too.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh
See if I
man.
can find that one for you.
These guys are chumping out some other creators. And then the next one I just wanted to talk about, which I've been talking about since probably episode 10 or 12, is Criminal. This is a series that I fucking love. It's one of my absolute favorite. It is so good. It's the greatest crime stories that are being written. Ed Brubaker, when he does other things, it's good, but when he does Criminal, it's the best. And it is straight up noir-ish crime, and everybody, there's not one good character. Everybody has flaws. It's like the classic shit. Everybody's fucking smoking, drinking. Everybody's fucking everybody else. Everybody's has a backstory. Everybody has a past. And this one's no different at all. And this is a one shot, which is even better.
Really?
You're killing me when you do those. And I thought it was just going to be a regular comic. I don't know how much I paid for it. I guess I did pay $4.99. But I was going to say it's double size. It's like the size of 2 comics, and it's seriously oh my god, I just cannot get over how good it is. And so we take a character that has like these jail ties and to do with like the Aryan Brotherhood and Nazis, and then there's tied in with this other criminal that's just like your street criminal. Anyways, that's cut back between all these different kinds of art. There's all these different storytelling methods, but still it's still straightforward.
That's awesome.
And fucking badass. And there are some ties of the characters that have come in the previous, but it's absolutely nothing. You can't let that slip, man. I mean, in all Criminal, there's always, like I said, there's sex. I mean, everybody's fucking people. It's just absolutely awesome. And if you're gonna just go pick up like a one shot and you like things dirty, like True Detective or something, just go pick this up. It's so fucking good, man. And so definitely 6 out of 6 beers out of this. 6 out of 6 beers for The Humans. And I can't give the other one a rating because I haven't read it yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be good. So I don't want to get picking up a whole bunch of books again, and that's not what I'm trying to do. But I have been able to have a chance to go to the comic shop every week for a few weeks now, and so I'm trying to try out some different ones and be able to be happy saying, no, this isn't for me, so I'm not going to continue with it. Yeah. But, so it's nice to get this, and then I don't mind Eric Stevenson's books because I know he takes so long to write them, so it's going to take a long time for that whole series to come out. Because everything else, I am still super busy. I'm not, and when me and John were first starting this, we were, $50 deep every single week into comics, and both of us are not at that spot anymore. No. John spending $50 is going to be on one variant cover, and if I'm spending $50, it's all going to be on
really conserving those funds. Responsible.
Not the amount that you spend, just what you spend it on.
But yeah, definitely, I can't say enough. Humans and Criminal. Even though this is St. Patty's Day, it has absolutely nothing to do with St. Patty's Day. Those are the fucking books of the week, man.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, hey, man, this is a good episode. We better cut it off. We've been going a long time, though. So somebody shut us down.
I think we should do shots.
Oh,
Now, the only trouble is we have 3 rattlesnakes.
There is an orange in the Ireland flag.
Oh, there we go. So we got orange and green for Ireland.
Always
so
thinking.
Who wants the sex on the beach and who wants a rattlesnake?
I'll do whatever, man. Whatever you guys don't want to do.
What do you want, John?
I don't care.
You want the sex on the beach?
Sure.
Oh, I'm wearing too much. This guy's yelling at 5.
Oh, y'all don't find us going to shrink our balls. Okay, 5th grade.
What?
There's a.
I remember that.
There's a. We get the sex talk, and we get to write down questions. Everybody gets to write down a question, and you submit it, and they're going to go through it anonymously. Yeah. And my buddy Brian Dickmeyer put Does yellow 5 make your dick shrink? And it was read aloud, and they answered it, and it was fucking hilarious. And they answered it saying, "No, it does not."
Yeah, and it was actually pretty funny.
But it was a huge rumor when we were in fifth grade.
I remember that. Even
that whole situation, though, everyone's just asking just the silliest questions and giggling as the teacher or the principal or whoever was doing it just tried to maintain a completely straight face. What is 69?
Yeah.
That's a number between 68 and 70.
Have you ever had a boner?
Happy St.
Happy St. Patty's Day!
All right.
Oh, that's why I don't drink hard.
That was definitely a rattlesnake.
Mine was like
You
more
guys are
cream than
pussy.
anything.
Yeah, exactly. Me and John, nothing.
Well,
These chumps
That's because he had orange liqueur. We had tequila. A little bit different there.
taste like water to me.
Yeah,
I'm Irish.
If I'm going to be drinking booze, I'm glad it was tequilas.
Keels.
Tequila is always great, but I mean, I have definitely puked more times on tequila
Dude,
than
seriously.
any other
Yeah.
one. It's because I fucking overdo it every time I
Yeah.
drink tequila.
That was my throw-up drink. My original.
I always overdo it. If I'm drinking whiskey, I can handle myself. Vodka, I handle myself.
Yeah.
Gin, I don't drink it. So,
Yeah.
But tequila, I'm always just like, let's party. I don't know what it is. Just feel Mexican.
And on that note,
Mhm.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys again for kicking it with your boys. 2015, and we're going to be looking forward to another St. Patty's Day episode next year. More madness, and we'll probably, I don't know, I mean, topics come and they go, you know.
Exactly.
But, you know, it happens.
We'll be talking about Avengers 3 at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all be in rehab.
Exactly. Exactly.
I don't want to
You might quitters.
Go.
So anyways, I hope you guys are having an awesome, awesome comic book last weeks of winter. Hopefully, we're getting into spring.
Goddamn, 70 degrees today.
Exactly. Stop by your comic shop, vote with your dollars every Wednesday. And as always, you guys keep...
All right, motherfuckers, now that my kid's gone.
We're totally opening with that. I don't even need to do an intro. What?
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Hey, oh. Good to be back, guys. Gotta get warmed up, you know.
Do the pipes up,
Yeah.
stretch. We actually do team yoga sessions before filming of each episode.
Of course.
So that's quite the sight, as you can imagine. 3 guys in a beach toilet. It's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not...
All right, so you guys really,
Yeah.
nobody has anything for sure to talk about, though.
Yeah,
Specific, and we've covered every Irish character in comic book
it's true.
to a T,
We've
so
done
it's
it.
like we can bring up Banshee again.
Yeah,
So,
we could talk about alcoholism in comics with all the drinking
Sure.
that we do.
yeah, that sounds great.
I don't know. Dude.
Let's
I was
support
totally
it.
kidding.
Yeah, that's one.
But,
of those
I
can
mean,
type it.
But you can only...
I'm sorry.
I
Is
can only,
that bad? No.
No.
Okay. I was like, I thought it was a funny.
what,
No, we should do
alcoholism?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah, dude, because we got it. I'm just trying to think. Tony Stark for sure.
Yeah.
Who else is a drunkard? Wolverine, and there's that comic where Wolverine and Captain America try to just get wasted, so they try to fly around the world just
Are you
drinking
serious?
nonstop. But because of the superhuman serum and the healing ability they
They
keep on,
can't.
it's hard to get them drunk, so they just drink like crazy.
Do
amounts.
IVs. IVs of booze, like we do. Dude, I'm so proud of you rocking that whiskey. Not doing the beer, slimming down. Good for you.
You're damn right. I'm down 8 pounds already, man.
God, I should do that. So how much can I do a day and lose weight? Of
What?
that?
Of what?
Of whiskey.
Of whiskey? This drink is literally 60 calories.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna
nothing.
say it's like so a lot of like whiskeys and stuff is like 60 to 80 calories per shot compared to like 200, 250, 300.
Dude, we
for a
should
bottle of
totally
beer.
make a show about that sometime. How a comic book look is making strides in the health.
I mean, it's not as healthy for you, but even if you're going to do diet soda in that,
Yeah.
I mean, the reason that it's those sugars just don't break down, so like you just shit the sugar out. That's why it's like diet.
Why
But
is
it's
that not
not
their logo for hey, you just shit the sugar out?
You just shit this fake sugar
Diet
out.
Coke, shit the sugar out.
Boom.
All right, so I have just these comics to talk about. They have nothing to do with St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
So I only really want to bring up one of them because it just shows dick. You know.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What?
Seen some D.
Yep.
Seen
You know,
some D.
if there's dick in a comic book look is definitely bringing it up.
All over. It's just funny that I don't bring these to the table.
It's usually it's always me. It's always me. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
John,
sure.
you actually bring more female.
I know. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I'm a bigger fan of dick than you two.
Oh,
And the
Okay.
printed
Not off the
form,
neck.
Yeah.
Or is it just printed?
Just 3D printed.
I'm just kidding. I love the pussy.
Wow.
Dude, you know what I just thought of before we start the show? How I brought up, I dropped the word, showing some skin, a little cooch or something. And you just lost your shit on that episode. That was my favorite episode ever because you're like, why did you just say that word?
It's cooch, man. It'll get me every time.
I have to find that episode now. It's so awesome, dude, because Tom just loses it. It's
I'll
so
have to look for
awesome.
that one.
Yeah, dude, it's a gem. Alright.
Oh yeah. Maintain comic book fashion.